When we talk about statistical significance, it is important to distinguish between statistical significance itself and practical significance. Statistical significance is about our confidence that there is some relation between our variables. Whereas practical significance answers the question, does the magnitude and direction of the relation matter for us? Let's define these different types of significance. Statistical significance means that we can reject the null hypothesis that beta equals 0 in the population. It means we are confident that there is some relation between x and y. When we see a change in x, we do expect to see a change in y on average. By contrast, the practical significance, also called managerial significance or economic significance, indicates that x has a meaningful relation to the value of y. When we see a change in x, we do expect to see a meaningful change in y. You should ask yourself, as a manager, should I care about the expected change in y? As a business, for instance, if I expect to see a revenue increase by $1,002 every time I increase advertising by $1,000, I don't care. It's just $2 more than what we spent on advertising. So the relation might be significant. We are confident that it's there. It's just too small to matter. However, if every time I increase advertising spending by $1,000, I expect to see the revenue be increased by $1,500, now the relation matters. It's $500 more than what was spent on advertising. So it is practically significant or managerially significant. What affects practical significance? First, the scale of our variables. Are we talking about $1 million or just dollars? Then the magnitude of the coefficient beta. If beta is 10, it's not the same as if it's 0.001, for instance. And finally, the situation. Are we talking about the number of leaves on a tree? It's not really important. Or are we talking about lives lost? To conclude, why am I talking about this? We are in the world of big data. Datasets are becoming very large, so we can detect relations that are extremely small. We'll find a lot of relations that are statistically significant. However, we should always ask ourselves, does the magnitude of the relation matter for us? Remember that statistical significance does not guarantee practical significance. You might be very confident that there exists some relation, but it might not be meaningful at all for us. You should note that it is hard to argue for practical significance when you don't have statistical significance. It is indeed hard to argue that x has a meaningful relation with y, when we might have no relation at all, in fact.